So you think you're just about ready to make the move, make the jump, move, relocate to Wichita, Kansas. Well, let's there's quite a bit of stuff still. We're talking beyond looking at houses, beyond jumping on Zoom, Duo, FaceTime, what have you. You should probably go through and what to expect when you're putting that offer in. What things you got to do before, So I mean, really, this is going to be for that first time home buyer, or maybe someone it's been a little while. 5 years, quite a bit's changed. 10 or more, it's a whole new thing, and you don't want to miss it. So stay till the end. All right, we're getting after it. Hey, do me a solid, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified each and every time we kick these videos out each and every week. Question, reach out. I can't read your mind. Call, text, email, send the carrier pigeons, whatever you got to do to get the help, to get that question answered, because I'm helping people each and every day, and I love it. Morning, noon, night, weekends. I got your back when it comes to Wichita and the surrounding areas. Relocating, moving, real estate. Plugs aside, we're getting after it right now. Right, so first and foremost, we need you to be familiar with Zoom. I know you're looking at me. Hey, you realize what we've just been through the last couple of years, right? Well, not everybody has experienced it. If anything, it's a refresher. Be familiar with it. Whether if you're not doing it on the computer, you're doing it on the phone, make sure you got your phone charger and all that stuff good and charged. Make sure I have your undivided attention. I'm kind of needy like that. From there, you need to get pre-approved. And you're going to have people say, oh, you don't have to do that. No. And any agent that's worth their salt will tell you. You need to go get pre-approved. Get pre-approved. They're going to go through, and this is going to give you an idea what you can afford. They're going to go through your income, your taxes. Make sure, try and think real hard when it comes to this part here. Even if it's something unpleasant, because I would much rather give you bad news. I would much rather that lender give you bad news. Ultimately, hey, we can't necessarily help you right now. We would rather tell you this before we get into the process and you're spending money, because quite frankly, it's more than just a down payment. So, child support, back taxes, back child support, any garnishments. You kind of get what I'm throwing down. Try to student loans, anything like that. Been there, done that. Been through transactions where someone forgot they had a student loan that had been defaulted on, and quite honestly, we were 2 days from closing. Heartbreaking, honestly, heartbreaking. There are other fees you pay. We're talking appraisals, we're talking inspections. You don't get that money back. That right there, you're looking $1,000 or more. Your earnest money, that good faith deposit. It really just depends. If we'd rather not go through it if we don't have to, just saying. And then from there, your agent is going to have some literature for you as well. Beretta form, you go through this, it's going to identify the various types of agency. Yes, there's more than just a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. In certain states, Kansas is one of them, you can't be what's called a dual agent. You can't represent both sides in good faith. Well, think about it. Can you really represent a seller and a buyer and have both of their best interests in mind? I don't know. But from there, you'll have an agency agreement you'll go through with this agent, and it's going to outline how long, what terms, what price range, and plenty of other stuff. Make sure at this point you're actually reading. Read what you're being presented. Before I get too much further, I think it kind of goes without saying, I'm not an attorney. I'm not practicing law. I'm giving you a rough idea what to expect, because this process can be difficult, and not being here in person adds another layer of complexity to the equation. So having at least a rough idea what to expect is going to put you in a better spot. So we're jumping to the next spot now. All right, you're pre-approved. You've done your agency. You're informed with a Beretta form. Now from here, you're going to look at houses. Now make sure, like I said before, keep that phone good and charged. Zoom drains batteries like crazy. Open communication. Keep it open. It's even more important that we're doing this online. You know, you're not you're states away. You might be another state away. You're not locally here. So keep the communication up. You know, once you found something, as long as it's in the range, keep it in your price range. So we'll go. Once we find the one that makes you all warm and fuzzy inside, you're the one you're wanting to call home, we'll put an offer in. That pre-approval letter, it's going with the offer. Yet another reason why we need you pre-approved. There's plenty of other documentation. How old's the house? You know, if it was built in 1978 or prior, older, it's going to come with some literature. Lead-based paint. There's a brochure, you know, that you'll be given as well. This applies to rentals as well, but we're talking buying. You know, don't eat paint chips. I mean, there's more. There's more that goes into it than that, but you know, there'll be a form. Does that seller have any knowledge of any lead-based paint? Is there any documentation that they're providing? Okay. Or if so, they'll be giving that to you. Their agent makes them aware, hey, if anything like this exists, and you know about it, gotta let them know. And as your buyer's agent, you know, we're going to give you that brochure, that literature for you to, so you have the information you need. You can conduct a test on the paint if you want. You know, you have options there as well. Wire fraud. Now more than ever, how prevalent wire fraud is. If we're wiring any funds, you know, take the extra time, take the extra steps to talk to the person that we need to talk to. Don't ever assume. I try and never assume in this business. There's way too much at stake. Should it happen, you know, there's no saying you're going to get that money back. You know. So if we're wiring funds, just make sure. Just be careful in general. Because, I mean, really, most of this stuff we can do electronically. Most of this stuff is done electronically. So, floodplain. This form will have FEMA's website. You'll have access to that website. You know, sign this form. Same with what we call groundwater contaminants. Are there any contaminants? Is there Were there any gas stations on this land nearby? Laundromats. Heard of situations of runoff from some ag products, nitrates and stuff like that. You know, if there's forms, it's kind of similar to the other ones. If there's forms, they'll be provided. If there's no knowledge, you know, and then just kind of from there, tax forms. You know, you're going to have to sign the tax rolls. You know, plenty of supporting documents. The contract itself, you know, several pages. We're identifying the sellers. We're identifying the buyers, the legal description of said property, the address, what the offers, what offer price is being made, how much earnest money we're putting down, how much are you putting down for, like I said, earnest money? Are you getting a home warranty? Are you paying for it? Are they paying for it? Are you asking for closing costs? Who's closing? Who's closing this this transaction? Use title companies here, at least you do. You know, identify that company. When does this go into effect? When are we looking to close? You know, there's more terms. And once everything's signed, we're talking the contract, we're talking the supporting docs, everything's agreed to, then we get on with the work. Don't rest easy, because there's still plenty of work to do, and we're getting after it now. All right, so we're under contract. So now you have 5 days. If you ask me, as soon as we get it, we have ample time to do it, to deposit the earnest money. You deposit that earnest money. Now, what is it? Like I said, deposit in good faith. Think of it, like I said, deposit. Think of it, you know, have you rented before? Kind of like that. Everything goes hunky-dory, you close on the deal. That money goes towards your bottom line. Now, I want you to keep in mind, you're also going to do your inspections now. That's also another cost that you're going to pay for in the moment. General inspections, they go through the house, you know, the roof, the foundation, your appliances, windows, what have you, termite inspections, radon, this is radioactive gases, many more. Are you looking for rural? You want to be out in the country? Is it do they have a septic tank? Is it a lagoon? Well water? Is it a private well? Is it, you know, rural water? Are we getting a sewer scope? You know, are we getting the scopes the sewer scope? The sewers. Your sewer scopes, excuse me. I'm struggling. But, you know, a lot that goes into this, and all the stuff that applies to your situation, all that's going to be done during that period. So then this will be a time frame that you guys agree on. You gotta be on top of it, because you take too long and that period expires. I'm hoping you didn't want anything fixed, because, you know, kind of blew it. The lender will be reaching out for the appraisal. This will be something else that you pay in the moment. Going to hire the appraiser. That'll be, you'll wait a little bit for that. They're going to come out, they're going to assess value, that third party. So from here, you know, we got a lot going on. So we're going to jump out there, we're going to get it going, and we're going to get it done. So me personally, I just like getting our obligations taken care of as soon as possible. Should something come up, we got time. Should something come up, hopefully with our stuff done, it's not on us. But, you know, things do happen. Just being realistic, being transparent. So, earnest money is deposited. Inspections done. They'll go through the report with us. You'll have a binder. I mean, it's going to vary from inspector to inspector. You're more than welcome to hire your own if you want to look. Any good agent's going to have people they do business with on the regular. This is going to be lenders as well. You're going to want a good insurance agent. So go through all this, and then we sit, we talk. You know, you got to be realistic. There's someone else on the other side of this. You know, what all do we want? You know, it's going to be accepted, countered, or denied. We'll go through. Once all that's done, there'll be paperwork to sign and initial on that. The seller will start their repairs. Everything with us in the moment is good. Waiting on the appraisal. The lender's going to reach out to you. He's going to have paperwork that he's probably going to need from you. So just like doing business, doing our stuff, reach out to your lender, reach out to your insurance agent, make sure you just get everything they need to them as soon as possible. The quicker we get them everything they need, hopefully the smoother sailing it's going to be for us. Things do come up, but more times than not, I find as long as we're on top of it and we're getting everything done in a timely manner, it's usually pretty smooth. But from here, we're waiting. We're waiting. As long as they got what they need, we're waiting. We're waiting on the appraisal, and we're waiting to set up our final walkthrough. So the appraisal will come in, and it's going to be just black and white. Did it appraise? Does it require repairs? So if it appraises, no repairs required, congratulations. If it appraised for more than you're paying for it, nice. If they're requiring some repairs, we're going to have to negotiate that, because that is a condition to close now. That has to be done, or we're not closing. If it doesn't appraise, let's say it doesn't appraise, you know, going to renegotiate. Do we need to step away? Do we have this will be most likely, it just depends on the situation. Someone might contest the comps, and that could be on the buyer side, or it could be on the listing side. You know, if you can show your work, maybe give this person, you know, hey, this is what I found, you know. If not, like I said, renegotiate. If we can't renegotiate, then we might have to walk. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, hey, everything's good. It appraised. All right, smooth sailing. So from here, we're going to get our final walkthrough set up. That's usually done the day before or the day of. The lender's going to have, at this point, we need to make sure the lender has everything. They should have everything they need. They're working on getting what is called the CD, the closing disclosure, their package. This is vital to closing. We want to make sure everything's good on their end. Typically about 72 hours. If you're needing to wire your funds, it'll be about this time as well that we want to make sure everything's set for that. We will get paperwork from the title company, and going through and looking at this is going to give us credits, debits. It's going to show us everything coming in and going out of the transaction. You're also going to know what you need to bring to closing. So we don't have to worry about signing anything with this, because you're going to have that at closing, and you'll sign at the title company. We're going to go through and do our final walkthrough. We want to make sure everything's like or better, like it was before or better. We want to make sure all the repairs that were agreed to are completed. And at this point, that'll be another form to sign and date. If everything's hunky-dory there, we're going to closing. So, going to closing, hey, you got a significant other, a spouse, they need to come. There'll be paperwork for them to sign as well. Bring a valid ID, Bring your, cashier's check if that's the way you're going, significant other, their ID. Bring your smiles. Sellers gonna, if the sellers are coming, they're gonna bring the keys, the garage door openers, all that fun stuff. They can reminisce on the house, give you any good information, any to know stuff. Do your hand crunches, because we do our part for the trees. From there, congrats. That's it. I would suggest rekeying your locks, your garage door codes, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's it. Congrats. So from here, you're good. Everything's smooth sailing from here. But it's quite the process. It's not always smooth. So, this is kind of a little more longer format, a little more drawn out, but it's so important. We want to make sure when you're making this move, you make it count. Had some doozies here locally, and we've had some, like I said, a lot of the ones that came my way that we made it happen, they were coming from, the Carolinas, they were coming from Texas, just all over, and like I was saying, this adds another layer. So being able to have that rock solid communication, that understanding is key, because at the end of the day, once you make this trek here, we want to make it count. We want to make sure you got everything you needed. So anyways, I better quit babbling on. I'm sure this one's going to be long enough. If you got any value out of this, guys, do me a solid. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. Got a question? Reach out. Till the next one, guys. We'll see you later.